Hi everyone, it's been a minute, but that's because it has been summer. We've been busy with clients, busy with some R&R, but we are back, and this time it's different. What are we doing?
We're doing a local community spotlight here at the Maynard Fire Department.
So let's go check it out. Hey guys, I'm here with Angela Lawless. Angela, first of all, nice to meet you. Can you tell me a little bit about who you are, how you got started in Maynard?
Sure. My name's Angela Lawless. I'm the fire chief. I've been the fire chief now about 4 years. I started in Maynard in 2012. I was a firefighter before that in the community of Holliston.
Okay.
So I got some training there and then moved over here as a full-timer and worked my way up through the ranks. So here I am now as a chief.
Well, we're lucky to have you.
Thanks.
So we're standing in the new fire station. I personally have never been in the new fire station. When was this built?
Well, welcome. It's a brand new facility, and we're very thankful to the town of Maynard for helping us with this. It was long overdue. It's a beautiful space and allows us to train, be more prepared, do all of the things, and provide a lot of resources to the community that we didn't have. So very thankful for this space. So we moved in about November of 2022.
Okay.
It took us really about a solid year to get used to the building and to figure out all the idiosyncrasies. But now I feel like we have solid ground and we're at a good spot with it. So it has a lot of features for us as firefighters and also for the community to keep them safe.
Yeah, much different, obviously, like you said, from where you guys were before. And this is an incredible space. We were just walking through a couple of spaces. Before you kind of take us through and we get a little sneak peek of the station, you know I'm a realtor in town. I live in town. What some people may not know is part of selling a home in Massachusetts, you have to do a smoke and carbon monoxide test inspection before you sell. So that can be overwhelming to sellers.
Definitely.
Who don't understand what's involved with that, and it can be frustrating. You guys, in my experience, have always been incredibly helpful if somebody needs help or has a question or it doesn't pass the first time. But what can you tell us is a helpful hint about how to work that?
Sure. The first thing is the reason that law was developed. It's called Nicole's Law, which is the carbon monoxide law as well. But really the idea is you move into a brand new house, you tend to be blind over the fire protection that you just expect is there. So the theory is that gives us a good time to go in and inspect it and make sure that it takes that burden off of the new homeowner. They're coming into a protected space. One of the first things that we check, and is also one of the biggest fail points of the inspections, is a house number.
A lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah.
Because they don't think of that as being part of the inspection, but it's super important.
So important. I mean, we've had many times where we're unable to find the person that's calling for help because their building isn't labeled correctly. And it's something that if you've lived in a space for a long time, you become blind to it because you're not looking for it. Is my house labeled?
Yeah.
So especially in Maynard, because we have a lot of multifamily homes, you have to think of it as if it's my first time here, is it clearly labeled? Does it say unit A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3, however it's addressed? It needs to match how your phone calls are coming in, and a lot of times that's not done. The other thing is people think, oh, I don't want to disrupt the look of my house, and they pick house numbers that are the exact same color as their paint. At nighttime, we can't see that.
Sure.
If they don't have their lights on or whatever, it becomes very difficult to find a residence. So it's really important that you as the homeowner always think, can I be found when there's an emergency? Yeah. And the joke we always get is, well, if it's on fire, you'll find me. Sure, that's true, but 90% of our calls are medicals. And in that situation, if you're on the ground or your family's on the ground inside the house calling for help, we need to be able to get there fast.
Absolutely.
So that's one thing that's checked. And then for the smoke and CO alarms, at a bare minimum, you have to think of it needs to protect you on every habitable floor, which includes the basement. So there must be a CO detector on every floor. It does get confusing because it's based on what year your house was built.
Yeah.
And or if you did major renovations. But we have a lot of resources we can give you, and we're very happy to send a captain over or even myself to come look at your space and help you through that.
Yeah, you guys, like I said, have always been incredibly helpful. If there is, first of all, the house number, such an easy fix. Go run to the hardware store, get a nice, house number and slap it up. But there's a reason for that. But also, maybe I'm not supposed to say this, but you guys have helped me if I can't reach a battery or something. Like, your people are so nice. If they come out to do a smoke inspection.
We do those too.
You do?
Yes.
Cool. Okay,
Yeah.
so tell me about that. That's if you're not selling a
Right.
home.
Anybody can call and we'll go and do a home safety inspection. So just to
wow.
go back to the idea of you're blind in your own space, you might not even realize you're living with a hazard. Things like throw rugs or extension cords that are, sometimes can start a fire if not used properly, or surge protectors, those kind of things. We'll come in and we just walk around. It's not meant to be punitive, it's meant to be educational.
Yeah.
Right, so we will check your smoke and CO detectors, but also make sure the chemicals are stored in the right way, in the right places, show hazards for falling, other hazards, right? We run into things all the time, and there's no charge to that. We'll just set it up and go over.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
That's
it's
really
helpful to the public, and we also have to look at it through a firefighter lens. We don't want to have the first time in a house when it's in some sort of emergency, right? Like a smoke-filled environment is very difficult to navigate, but if we have some sort of frame of reference, it's helpful for us to be able to mitigate any incident that comes in. So it helps our teams in training as much as it helps the public
That's incredible.
be safer. So
And to have it be something that's accessible to anybody who lives in town. And how do they do that? They just call up?
yeah, they could call me, and we have on our website, which is maynardfd.com. You can go there and there's a form you can fill out, and we'll schedule it. So.
That's awesome. All right, well, next up, I think Jack's gonna walk around. We're gonna see some cool sneak peeks. But before we do, can you give us a rundown of how many people are on the fire staff here?
Sure. So our crews are 5 people, so that gives you a captain and 4 firefighters. And each one of those people has an assigned role, and they do transfer around every tour so that you're not on the same piece every time.
Okay.
So that gives you a pump operator, the captain is in command, the back step of the pump, and then your ladder has a driver and operator, and they cross-man the ambulance. So everybody has roles, and the way we transfer them around, everybody's very fluid and can do each one of the tasks. So some departments do it so that you're kind of stuck in the same position over and over, and we believe that that's not the best training for our community.
Absolutely.
So we mix it up that way. So
And you were showing us a little bit before, and it's incredible. We just sort of, if you're not here and you don't work here, you may not, you're oblivious to this, but the exact science of everything that they have down to a science, and the collaboration and everything is amazing. There's a lot of thought, obviously, that's put into that, because it has to be, right?
Yeah, we have a very strong mutual aid program. So even if another community has a fire, we know that we're going, what piece is going, it's all predetermined of who needs what and what resource and how to get it there the fastest.
That's awesome.
So
Really cool.
we do really well in our district.
Love that.
So this is a feature of our station, which we're really thankful for with the construction of our new station, because in our old station, we didn't really have the ability to train. This gives us the ability to train 24/7, 365, no matter the weather. So basically we've built, what you're looking at is basically the idea of a house, right? And it's set up right now, we actually have an obstacle course set up, which is meant to simulate a house. So this is a door prop, and we can set this for a residential setting or a commercial lock. Commercial locks are obviously a little harder to get into than your regular home. So it gives our ability to start right from the very beginning of getting into a house when the door is locked. Our station also has the ability for us to hook hoses up and and train with a actual hose line, so you're not pretending. And then you can go through, and this is set up as a maze as it normally would be as in a house. And it gets you up to a second floor. You can see that there's windows there, so we can do things like on this side of the building, we can practice going through a window. That's a prop on how to open it. We have the ability to open a hole in the floor so we can practice firefighter through a floor into a basement. And you can see that there's hookups out there. Our gear are equipped with bailout kits so that if we had to go out a window, we have special gear that we can do that, and those anchors allow us to practice that safely. So that's nice. So this is a great facility. We share this with our district partners, and also the district tech team comes and trains here. So it's a great resource that we can use all over our communities. So this is our gear room. This is part of our anti-cancer initiative that was a feature of our new station. So every time our trucks turn on, there's particulars that come out from the diesel, which can get into our gear and make it unsafe for us in the fire ground, but also has a high tendency to give firefighters cancer. So this room was built as the gear room, and you can tell that it's away from the apparatus, but also close enough that if we had people come in off duty, they can grab their gear. Everybody's got their own locker and their own power source to plug in all of their flashlights and radios and that kind of stuff. So it gives them their own space, but also keeps everybody safe.
Is there a time that it should take you to put this on?
Yes, we're tested on it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, different pieces of it.
Sure.
So basically it's 2 minutes.
Okay.
It's the short of it. It's so many seconds to get on your gear and then get on your pack and then get on air.
Okay.
So there's different benchmarks. We're not going to get on air here. That happens on the fire
Sure.
ground. But it is all, now you bring it back to real estate.
Oh.
Our property taxes are based on, part of it is called our ISO rating.
Okay.
Part of that piece is done by our water distribution system, our DPW, and our fire public safety.
Yeah.
So how fast can we get out? How fast can we get to our properties? How much staffing we do? How much training we do? What kind of gear we have? All of that is given a factor, and then that determines the property tax in your community.
That's crazy.
So
that's great.
The ISO rates each town, and they go through, it's on a calendar every so many years. They come and evaluate all those things.
Again, I said it's water on fire, but there is so much more,
There's a lot more to
it than that. Yeah. No,
Agreed.
This is wild.
Yeah. So we keep track of who does what in training each month for groups, and also who's doing the most runs by groups. So it helps motivate everybody. So one of my passions always as a firefighter, and I'm sure part of it is always being a female firefighter, right? You had to kind of do more than the guys and be more prepared.
Yeah.
So very strong advocate for firefighter fitness. And so that was one of the things that I was very passionate about when we built this station. So we used some spaces that were going to be left empty and really kind of accentuated that ability. So as we talked about a cancer initiative and the gear is in the locker room, it also doesn't come upstairs. And the reason for that is we take it into hazardous environments, so we can't bring it up to our sleeping space, right? So we keep it encapsulated down here. But at the same time, it's really important for firefighters to be able to train with what it feels like with their gear on. The gear adds about 70 pounds and decreases your flexibility. So we do a lot of things down here on the apparatus bay in gear, even things as simple as playing pickleball on air, because that brings in a lot of skills. But we also took the space that would be otherwise empty, because it's the stairwell, and we created this into what is like a little bit of a CrossFit style gym, which is meant for them to be able to do all of these firefighting skills and practice flexibility and maneuverability and things while they're in their gear and on air. So you have like the Jacob's ladder, which obviously simulates going up a ladder. That wall thing is painted up there for the wall balls. Cardiac issues are a big killer of firefighters, so the ability to train and to get your heart rate up really high and manage that and your air consumption at the same time is really important. So all the groups kind of challenge themselves in different ways, but they use this space a lot on air in their gear. And then I'll show you the second space upstairs.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so this area on the second floor is meant for them to work out on duty, but not in their gear. So
Like a regular gym.
like a regular gym, and this gives us the ability to do lots of programming in here, lots of fitness things. I very much encourage firefighters to work out and to be fit for duty,
Sure.
basically is where it comes down from. A lot of the pushback you would get from people who don't understand how it works would say, well, why are we paying to get our firefighters worn out? What if there's a fire or incident afterwards? Where all of the cardiac arrests happen with firefighters is the fact that sometimes obviously you can be asleep or in a down moment, right?
Yep.
And your heart rate is at a resting heart rate, 50, 60 beats per minute. And then 2 minutes later, you're finding yourself completely adrenaline based and in a house fire doing very physical things.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to train to get your heart rate high, low, and back and forth. So it is important to work out on duty for that reason, to prepare yourself.
Hoses are heavy.
So, hoses are heavy.
Hoses are heavy. Yeah.
8.33 pounds per gallon. So.
How much, like, okay, if I go pick up we go down to the trucks right now and I just grabbed the fire hose, like the whole thing, which I
Right.
couldn't, like what are we talking for weight?
Well, probably about 100 plus pounds, right? And you're moving it and dragging it. And like I said, your gear's 70 pounds.
Sure.
So you really have to be physically
Add
fit.
5 flights of stairs, the
Exactly.
heat.
And just the adrenaline, right? We're human, so to go from non-emergent to emergence, right, is everybody's gonna
We were
have
texting each
adrenaline.
other on the way here being like, man, I'm nervous about this interview. I can't imagine what being woke out of a sound sleep to go save a life is
Yeah,
like. Like
exactly.
that's pure adrenaline.
So you do have to train for that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Is that a program that you like, is it like a state thing? Is it just like, hey guys, go in, do you do the programming and they just kind of do their
I
own
would
thing?
say it's a work in progress,
Yeah.
and we are doing a lot of initiatives to make it even better. So I just sent 2 of our firefighters through a peer fitness training so that they're gonna do some actual programming. We have a company come in called LifeScan who does evaluations of all of our firefighters every year.
Mhm.
There are standards as well, but it's about kind of changing the culture and making it something that's a priority for everyone. We do incentives here in Maynard so that if they work out that they get extra personal time.
Yeah, okay.
So we're doing a lot of different things to make sure that people are trending towards making it a
Yep.
priority.
I love that. I think it's brilliant.
A huge thank you to Chief Angela Lawless and the entire Maynard Fire Department for their unwavering dedication, professionalism, and commitment to keeping our community safe. We are truly grateful for all that you do every day.